Let's take a look at these two teams now. You look at Minnesota State. They have won 4 in a row, including sweeping Tech at Tech. They just beat Bowling Green at home 2 games, so they're 4 straight they've won. But, you look at some of their common opponents here. They played Bemidji. They lost 1-0, and they won 2-1. And I think that was a home-and-home series right there. But, the Lakers we compare very well with them. Their power play is 19%. The Laker power play is 25%. Their PK is 82%. The Laker PK is 87%. Rhett Pitlick leads them with 16 points. Connor Milburn leads the Lakers with 7 goals and 17 points. Kind of even in a lot of areas.
I think they've played 2 extra games, have they not?
And
they've
played 2 more games.
Yeah.
That was to be the final point on this. I just think a real difference could be Alex Tracy. This will be the second weekend in a row the Lakers are going to play against one of the better goaltenders, not only in the CCAJ but in college hockey. Ed Scholl last week. Tracy's spectacular this year. 1.28 goals against average, .950 save percentage.
Ugh.
Those are gaudy figures.
Yeah, no question. It seems like they've had that goaltending for forever, right? When you go back to previous goaltenders and the way they play in front of them. I think structurally, again, I think it's we've got a good feel for the way they play, even though coaching change not too long ago. But one thing they do a great job of in terms of their what Coach Strand kind of structurally puts in place and philosophically puts in place is they don't beat themselves. They're very, very sound in the way they play and the structure they play with. They're not going to take a lot of chances. They're not going to cheat on many pucks. And so, Alex has a great year. Tracy's had a great year. He's a great goaltender. But the team plays a very sound system in front of him and does a really good job to help him out. So once you solve that, so there's a different kind of poise or patience you have to have when you play them. If you're going to cheat or you're going to have your foot on the pedal or get yourself out of positions, that's when they kind of counterpunch and have a lot of success on it. So it's a little bit of a chess match this weekend against them, and matching some of that patience and that structure will be really important to finding success on the ice.
I think a lot of people made this assumption that when Mike Hastings left, they were going to go down a couple of notches. That really hasn't happened. I mean, here they are, the 12th best team in the country. What do you think Luke Strand has done with this program to stay at this level / get back to it very quickly?
I think, no discredit to Luke, but part of it's the program. Minnesota State's commitment to their hockey program is as good as anybody in the country. They've put a ton of resources into their program, into their facilities, into their recruiting budgets, into their scholarship budgets, and so they're extremely committed to their program, and so you're walking into a good situation and able to do that. You're in a recruiting hotbed right down in Mankato. There, you're in the footprint of the USHL. You've got the talent of Minnesota there, so I think those all complement what Luke's done. And then Luke's been around a long time. He's coached at a lot of different levels. I'm always kind of interested. Luke's a pretty good friend there, and I've got some really mutual friends, really good friends with them, but many, many years in pro hockey and junior hockey where you're coaching 70, 80 games a year. So I've always kind of found that interesting. Guys who come out of junior hockey or guys who go to pro hockey, it's so many games. In college you only get the 30, 34 games, whatever. So it's a different experience level when you're running that many games and things like that. So, but no, he's a very accomplished coach. He put a great staff together. And so I don't think anybody's surprised between the commitment of the university to that program, the experience of Luke and his staff, their footprint where they're at. There's a lot of good things that they have going on to sustain what Mike Hastings and those guys have built.
For the record, when some of the preseason polls come out and you see the Mavericks down a little bit in some of those. Yeah, I never figured they'd be down all that far. I figured right away, all right, don't sleep on these guys. They're good still.
Well, and their experience, right?
Yeah.
I pre-show I was kind of doing a couple things. They've got 19 upperclassmen, 2 grad students, 9 seniors, 8 juniors. I might be a little bit off on where they're at. Sometimes teams are listing their guys a little different in today's world, but 19 upperclassmen. I mean, that's how you win in college athletics oftentimes. Maybe basketball is a little bit unique where you can get some really young talent impact players, but typically in football and in hockey and a lot of the team sports, you need experience. You need to go through some of those lessons and battles along the way. And again, Detroit Lions a little bit, right? You can see it building, and now they're a little bit more experienced. They've got some guys who've gone through it. So having 19 upperclassmen makes you sleep a lot better at night.
Yeah, this is a team that has 10 defensemen. on their roster.
Carry 10.
So they can, if somebody's not playing well or whatever, hey, you sit down and this guy comes in, and we all can do that to a certain extent. But they've always relied on a really good D to help that goaltender out, and they've got some really good ones. Luke Ashton's a really good defenseman. The kid from Sioux, Ontario, Stephen Bellini,
Yep.
plays a lot.
Yep.
He's a good defenseman. My favorite name in college hockey, Campbell Psychos, is one of their top defensemen. And he was defenseman of the week this past week in the CCHA. He had a
Really
goal
good
and an
player,
assist,
yeah.
+3. He's a very good player. He's a tough guy. What a great name, though, Psychos.
I don't think he plays like a psycho though either, which
No,
is a
he's-
missed opportunity.
Yeah, no, he's yeah. They've got, I think, and again, that like you said, Bill, you hit it. That D core has differentiated them for many years. They've done a really good job. They've got good size back there. They've got a mix of some skill guys. Ashton's had a really good freshman year for them. As you said, I think he's their leading D scorer with only 8 points, but a good freshman D, and he's 6'6", so he's a big, long kid that defends hard and plays hard. And they've always done a really good job taking care of their own end and taking care of their net, and that's no different under Luke Strand as it was with Mike Hastings.